Okay, so good day, my dear students. I am Ma'am Angeli, and this video or this recorded discussion is intended for our new lesson. Before we proceed with our new lesson, let's first have a recap. Okay, so our previous lesson was all about the steps in analyzing and evaluating the validity of evidence, right? And we also had discussed the four types of evidence. We have the three steps, and these are argumentation, specificity, and relevance. While the four types of evidence are statistical, testimonial, anecdotal, and analogical. Now, is there any question about our previous lesson? Okay, so if none, let's proceed with our lesson for today. Exchanging ideas is a part of everyday life as one socially mingles with others. Kagaya na lang kapag nakikichismis kayo. You are exchanging information, right? So, with that, you are making an argument. You make arguments on a regular basis. For example, if you and your friend are talking about your favorite K-pop idols, then you said, Jungkook is so guapo. Then your friend said, no, Taeyong is mas guapo than Jungkook. Then on, you started to support your claim. Ayan, you're arguing with your friend. You are making an argument kung paano ninyo nasabing mas guwapo si Jungkook or di kaya bakit mas guwapo si Taeyong. Ayan. And another example of this is if JC is arguing with Mark James about who is prettier, Jenny or Lisa of Blackpink, of course, they will support their answer. They will back it up with supporting details, right? And sasabihin ni Mark James kung bakit mas maganda si Jenny. Ayan, sasabihin ni JC, hindi, mas maganda si Lisa. Pero, in the end, sasabihin nila na meron silang kanya-kanyang point of view. They have their own perspective, they have their own opinion about kung sino ang mas maganda. Ayan. But, remember, making an argument doesn't refer to quarreling or causing conflict with others, but the act of communicating one's perspective and point of view. Ayan, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, to open up opportunities for discussion of ideas. Ayan, another good example of this is the argument about dating couples. Sino ba dapat ang magbayad sa first date ng magjowa? There are different opinions about that, right? Makikita nyo, very popular ito sa TikTok, sa Facebook. Ayan, makikita natin sa iba't ibang social media platforms. Some are arguing that men should be the one to pay. But some says, dapat hati. Ayan. Usually, um, noted as synonymous, opinion and argument are actually two different notions. Kapag sinabi nating opinion, this is a personal claim that does not necessarily require support and certain qualities. While an argument, on the other hand, is a claim that needs to be worth making, valid, sound, logical, and must be provided with reasonable, relevant, and sufficient support. Ayan. Now, you read the conversation between Dora and Mickey Mouse. Ayan, sabi ni Dora, social media platforms are highly disadvantageous. Sabi naman ni Mickey Mouse, I believe otherwise. Social media platforms bring a lot of benefits because it makes communication and information dissemination a lot easier. Okay, so now my question is, which statement do you think is an example of an opinion and which is an argument? Is it Dora's statement or Mickey Mouse statement? Okay, if you have chosen Dora's statement as an opinion, you're right. As Dora's statement simply stated her notion on social media platforms. On the other hand, Mickey also expressed his notion on social media platforms, but He has given reasons why he believes so that makes it an argument. Ayan, nagbigay siya ng reason niya. Sabi niya, social media platforms bring a lot of benefits because it makes communication and information dissemination a lot easier. While Dora said that social media platforms are highly disadvantageous, pero wala siyang sinabing rason. So her claim is considered as an opinion. Ayan. Now that you have no differentiated the now that you have differentiated opinion and argument, our lesson for today is all about argument. Okay, and we also have premise and conclusion. Ano nga ba itong conclusion and premise na sinasabi natin? Conclusion is the idea where we are convinced to believe. And we can also think of it as a claim that a person is trying to get the audience or the listeners. Ayan, pag sinabi natin conclusion, meron, actually, there are keywords or indicators, but we will go deeper later. Pag sinabi natin conclusion, it is the idea we are convinced to believe. Ito yung mga haka-haka natin. Ito yung mga pinaniniwalaan natin. While premise is the support or reason showing that the conclusion is true. Pag conclusion, walang evidence, walang supporting details. Pero pag premise, ayan, meron na yang evidence, meron na siyang supporting details. Premise is also the foundational evidence of a conclusion. Ayan, pag sinabi natin premise, ayan, just like yung ano pala yung sa conversation earlier. Ayan. The statement of Mickey Mouse. Ayan. Mickey Mouse dialogue used because ito. Used because. The word because is used as a premise indicator. And the presence of this word easily leads us to identifying the reason supporting Mickey Mouse conclusion. Ayan, yung conclusion niya, di ba? Social media platforms bring a lot of benefits. Ayan yung conclusion niya. Ngayon, paano niya ba nasabi na, ano ba ang reason niya kung paano niya nasabing social media platforms bring a lot of benefits? Ayan. Now, yung reason niya is what you call premise. It um um his premise indicator is because. Ayan, ano ba ang rason niya? Bakit social media platforms bring a lot of benefits? Ang rason niya is it makes communication and information dissemination a lot easier. Ayan. Ngayon, paano nga pa natin ma-identify yung mga conclusion indicators and premise indicators? Ano ba yung mga indicators na ito? Pag sinabi natin indicators, these are keywords. There are some words or phrases that may serve as your keywords in determining conclusions and premises. Note that the list is not limited to this. Ayan, ito yung list na sinasabi ko. Wait. Ayan. Conclusion, keywords, and indicators. Pag sa isang sentence or sa isang paragraph nakakita kayo ng indicators na which means that, accordingly, which proves that, so, therefore, hence, consequently, which shows that, implies that, it follows that, thus, and as a result, yan ay mga conclusion indicators. Next, ito naman ang mga premise indicators. Ano ba itong mga premise indicators na ito? We have given that, since, for the reason that, for, because, ayan, yung sa statement ni Mickey Mouse kanina, because it makes, ayan, sabi niya. So, the word because is considered as premise indicators. Another keywords are As, in light of, is shown by the fact that, however, in as much as indicated by, and whereas. Now, the best kind of argument is one that is not just valid but also sound. It is valid if the premise logically supports the conclusion, and it is sound if the argument is valid and if the premise and conclusion altogether can be verified true. Now, you may have already heard fallacies, right? Our previous lesson, in the third quarter, or should I say, our last lesson in third quarter is all about the different types of fallacies, and we have faulty logic, unsupported facts, and emotional appeal, right? Now, we are going to talk about logical fallacies naman. Now, logical fallacies threaten the soundness of your argument. Fallacies are considered errors in reasoning. In speaking and writing, it may be committed accidentally, causing faults in the argument, or intentionally to trick the um, readers or listeners into believing the speaker's or writer's argument. Ano ba itong mga logical fallacies na ito? We have four. Yan. There are four types of logical fallacies. So we have hasty generalization, pause hook, slippery slope, and appeal to authority. Either way, you should avoid committing them in order to form sound arguments. Remember, arguments formed using fallacies may be valid, but they are not sound. Hindi natin sila pwedeng gamitin as solid evidence. Now, here are the types of logical fallacies. We have number one, hasty generalization. When we say hasty generalization, you are making assumptions about a whole group or range of cases based on a sample that is inadequate or not enough. Do not make a claim and say it is true if it's only based on just an evidence or two. Ayan. Kagaya na lamang ng mga nakikita natin sa na post sa Facebook. Yung mga Facebook memes, yung mga nagva-viral, just like this example. Ang sabi niya dito. Sige, sisihin ninyo kung bakit sige, sisihin niyo ko kung bakit sobrang init ngayon. Kasalanan ko ba kung sobrang hot ko at pati buong bansa naapektuhan? Sabi ni Jose Manalo. Ayan. Another example na nakita ko rin sa Facebook, yung pag sinabi nila na ay, ang init ngayon ay dahil sa mga lalaki kasi ito. Ayan. Yung mga viral na nakikita ko sa mga shared post. Aside from that, we also have here another example. Ayan, number one. Librarians are quiet people and disciplinarians. This is an example of stereotyping or overgeneralization naman. Overgeneralization. Naniniwala ba kayo na lahat ng librarians are quiet people and disciplinarians? No. So, this is considered as stereotyping or overgeneralization. Another example. My roommate said her philosophy class was hard. And the one I'm in is hard too. I warn you, all philosophy classes are hard. Two people's experiences are, in this case, not enough to base a conclusion. Hindi mo masasabi na, hindi mo masasabi na porket mahirap yung philosophy class niya, ay mahirap na rin ang philosophy class para sa'yo. Meron nga yung mga ibang tao na favorite subject nila ang philosophy. So, hindi mo masasabi na lahat ng philosophy classes are hard, right? So, these examples are considered hasty generalization. And another example of hasty generalization is all sports car drivers are so aggressive. Hindi porket hindi porket yung mga sports car is mabibilis, sasabihin mong aggressive na sila. So hasty generalizations arise when we illegitimately generalize situations. So this hasty generalization are the source of many stereotypes. Ayan, okay? Remember, kapag sinabi natin hasty generalization, it is a conclusion that is not logically justified by sufficient evidence. Pag sinabi natin hasty generalization, wait, let's go back to the meaning of hasty generalization. You are making an assumptions about a whole group or range of cases based on a sample that is inadequate or not enough. Ayan, sabi ko nga, ang hasty generalization ay isang type ng conclusion na walang sapat na ebidensya. Okay, next, we have post hoc. Pag sinabi natin post hoc, sorry. You are stressing that two events or concepts are related in the sense that one causes another when they are actually not. Okay. For example, For example, it was cloudy this morning, so Sarah did a sundance and it did not rain. Are you familiar or napanood nyo na ba yung movie ni Sarah Geronimo at ni John Lloyd Cruz ba yun na A Very Special Love? Ayan, di ba? Sumayaw si Sarah sa gitna ng kalsada para hindi daw umulan. That is an example of post-hoc. Another example is President Jones raised taxes and then the rate of violent crime went up. He is responsible for the rise in crime. Now, in this example, the increase in taxes might or might not be the factor in the rising crime rates, but it was claimed as if it's sure and the only reason. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na yun lang yung magiging reason. There are many reasons kung bakit tumataas ang taxes. Meron nga ring reason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng inflation rates. That's na nangyari ngayon, hindi ba? Okay. So, in example number 1 naman, it was cloudy this morning, so Sarah did a sundance, and it did not rain. The sundance may not have been the reason for the rain not coming. Pwedeng naudtot lang ito, tapos maya-maya magkakaroon din naman ng, uulan din naman. Ayan, so also, do not assume that the cause and effect relationship between two concepts or events without considering other factors. Huwag niyang i-assume na yung cause-effect relationship between sa dalawang concept na ito ay um, ay totoo without considering other factors. Hindi naman pwede na magko-conclude ka agad na hindi mo pa alam kung ano yung ibang rason kung bakit nangyari yon. For example, ayan, yung boyfriend mo hindi nakarating agad sa usapan ninyo, for example, sa park. Ayan, hindi agad siya nakarating sa tamang oras. Ang usapan ninyo ay 7 p.m. pero nakarating siya 8 p.m. without knowing na nagkaroon pala ng traffic kasi may disgrasya. Ayan. Siguro kung hindi na magpapaliwanag yung boyfriend ninyo or yung jowa ninyo, siguro wala na. Sige, break na tayo. Ganon agad. No, dapat alamin nyo muna kung ano ang reason kung bakit at paano nangyayari ang mga bagay-bagay. Huwag magpapadala sa bugso ng damdamin or um, huwag magpapadala um, sa emotions. Okay? Ayan. These are the examples of post hoc. Now, we are down to the last two, and we have slippery slope. When we say slippery slope, we're claiming a sort of chain reaction, usually ending in some direct consequence, but there's really not enough evidence. Ayan, pag sinabi natin slippery slope, you do not slide all the way down or exaggerate in picturing the consequences attributed to a particular event. Ayan, for example, ano, bakit nag-back siya? For example, ayan. Animal experimentation reduces our respect for life. If we do not respect life, we are likely to be more and more tolerant of violent acts like war and murder. Soon our society will become a battlefield in which everyone constantly fears for their lives. It will be the end of civilization. To prevent this terrible consequence, we should make animal experimentation illegal right now. In this example, even if we believe that experimenting on animals reduces respect for life and loss of respect for life makes us more tolerant of violence, it would have been better to stop at that point. It is too much to slide all the way down to end of civilization. Sabi ko nga, di ba kanina, you do not slide all the way down or exaggerate in picturing the consequences attributed to a particular event. Ayan, another example of slippery slope is a letter for a professor. Sasabihin, the student said, if I fail this class, my life If I'm sorry, let me repeat. If I fail this class, my life will spiral out of control. I'll end up homeless and have to beg for change. It will ruin my chances of going to medical school. So if you fail me, it'll have to be, huh? I'll have to live in a tent and people will die and it will be all your fault. Ayan, slippery slope. It argues an action that will lead to a chain of events, resulting in undesirable and extreme consequence. For example, kapag sinabi natin, kapag nawalan ka ng ballpen, sasabihin mo, ala, nawala yung ballpen ko, so hindi na ako makakapasa sa exam. Pag hindi ako nakapasa sa exam, hindi ako makakapag-college. Pag hindi ako nakapag-college, hindi ako makaka-graduate. Kapag hindi ako nakagraduate, hindi ako makakahanap ng matinong trabaho. Pag hindi ako nakahanap ng matinong trabaho, hindi ko matutulungan yung parents ko. Pag hindi ko matutulungan yung parents ko, wala kaming kakainin. Kapag wala kaming kakainin, mamamatay na lang ba kami? Ayan, that is an example of slippery slope. Ayan. Is there any question regarding our discussion? Okay, if none, then this is the last type of logical fallacies. And we have appeal to authority. Kung yung sa types of fallacy, we have emotional appeal. Dito naman sa logical fallacies, we have appeal to authority. Ayan, when we say appeal to authority, you are referring to known personalities to back up a claim. But they aren't really experts, particularly in line with the issue at hand instead of citing evidence. For example, we should abolish death penalty because many respected people, such as actor Guy Handsome, have publicly stated their opposition to it. Ayan, hindi porket sinabi ng sikat na personality yun, isusundin mo na. This is commonly seen sa mga advertisements. Ayan, di ba? Pag sinabi ba ni Donnie Pangilinan na gamitin mo itong toothpaste na ito, gagamitin mo na agad porque idol mo siya. Ayan, um, pag sinabi ba ni Catherine Bernardo na gamitin mo ang sunsilk because your hair will get 5 times smoother and fragrant and you will have 5 times smoother and fragrant hair. Ayan, gagamitin mo na ba siya agad? Dapat dapat tignan niyo muna kung effective ba ito, kung totoo ba yung sinasabi nito, ayan, para malaman ninyo kung totoo nga ba yung sinasabi ng mga idol ninyo, hindi yung porket maganda siya, hindi porket idol niyo siya, hindi porket gwapo siya, gagamitin niyo na kung ano yung ini-endorse niya. Ayan, do not impress readers or audiences with a famous name or a supposed authority who really does not have an expertise on the matter being discussed. Just like in this example, sabi niya, such as actor Guy Handsome. While Guy Handsome may be an authority on matters having to do with acting, there's no particular reason why anyone should be moved by his political opinions. He is probably no more he is probably no more of an authority on the death penalty than the person writing the paper. Dapat kapag mga ganitong death penalty, extrajudicial killings, ayan, kapag sinabi mong or anything about politics, ang paniniwalaan ninyo palagi ay yung mga trusted sources, credible and reliable sources of information. Ayan, huwag kayong maniniwala agad sa mga sabi-sabi ng ayan, porket poging artista, hindi porket sinabi ng sikat or sikat na celebrity, sikat na personalidad, hindi porket sinabi ng idol ninyo, eh, totoo na agad. You must seek supporting details. You must seek supporting sources. Uh, you must seek supporting sources first before believing to his or her claim. Dapat malaman niyo muna kung yung sources ba na ito ay um, nanggaling sa isang credible and reliable source. Kapag titignan niyo muna yung mga credentials, ayan, di ba? Sabi ko nga, you need to check the source, you need to check the author, you need to verify the supporting sources. Ayan, hindi yung maniniwala kayo agad sa mga sabi-sabi ng mga idol ninyo, hindi yung sa mga sinasabi ng mga sikat na tao. Ayan, malinaw pa. Is that clear? Do you have any question? If you have questions, feel free to message me through Messenger. Ayan, I'm one chat away, sabi ko nga. Okay, so to conclude our lesson for the day, writing and making an argument consists of conclusion and premise. Ayan, meron tayong mga iba't ibang indicators. We have keywords. Okay? Tatandaan ninyo, conclusion is kung ano yung pinaniniwalaan natin. Premise is nangangailangan ng supporting sources. Dapat valid, reliable, and credible. Okay? Alright. Then, in speaking and writing, ayan, tatandaan ninyo, logical fallacies may be committed accidentally, causing faults in the argument or intentionally to trick the readers or audience into believing the speaker's or writer's argument. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na um, gumagamit sila ng artista or ng mga kilalang personality nga or gumagamit din sila ng mga mabulaklaking pananalita, persuasive techniques. Ayan. Para lang mahikayat nila yung readers or listeners na gumamit ng mga product na ito, gumamit ng brand na ganito. Ayan, or di kaya para mahikayat nila yung mga nanonood na tumangkilik sa mga um, iba't ibang product na nilalabas ng idols ninyo. So, those are considered logical fallacies. Okay, pag sinabi natin logical fallacies, we have the 4 types, and this includes hasty generalization, post hoc, slippery slope, and appeal to authority. Okay, Is there any question regarding our lesson for today? Okay, if none, all right. Ayan. If you have reached this far, kindly screenshot this slide and send it to Ma'am Salinas. You will be given 3 points, Chip, and congratulations. Ayan, karamihan sa mga students, hindi nila pinapatapos or hindi nila pinapanood ang mga recorded discussion, right? But, if you have reached this far, kindly screenshot this slide and send it to Ma'am Salinas. Then, sa pagbalik natin sa school, you will be given 3 points, Chip. Ayan, tandaan, huwag sasabihin sa mga kaibigan na may ganito. Okay? Malalaman ko yan kung sinend nyo lang ba yung screenshot sa kaibigan ninyo. Kung sinabi nyo ba sa kanila na i-screenshot lang nila ito at hindi nila papanoorin. Sige, pag hindi kayo nakinig or hindi nyo naintindihan ang lesson, ayan, sige, wala kayong makukuha sa activity or sa quiz pagbalik natin sa school. Okay, so, ayan nga, yung screenshot. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Okay, ano yan? Parang live selling. Sige. Now, thank you for listening. That's all for today. Goodbye.